Hello everyone, my name is Matt and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to show you part one of a two-part lesson, and this lesson is about festivals. This lesson is designed for grade 2, grade 3, and it can also be used with grade 1. Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to be teaching 6 different festivals, and then the simple question, which festival do you like best? And I like Christmas best. I like Thanksgiving best. Okay, it's a very simple but very fun and effective lesson. Several years ago, I had a lesson in my store that I was selling, which was this topic, but this is a different version, updated version. I changed a lot of things about it. So it's a totally new lesson. And like I said, this is part one. So there's going to be a part two where I expand and make it a dialogue. Okay, so it's a little bit longer. And the second lesson is about food. So the different foods people eat at these festivals. So it's going to be a really fun lesson. Stay tuned for part two. I'll be releasing that probably tomorrow or maybe the next day. Okay, so I really hope you enjoy this. If you do and you want to download this lesson, you can use the links in the video description below. I have my own website, Teachers Pay Teachers. There's direct links to end of sale. You can just click on those and go directly to purchase the lesson like that, or you can go to my Taobao store and you can purchase it there. So I really hope you enjoy this video and this lesson, and hopefully you learn something. And if you want to download this lesson, it's really simple and easy to do. So I hope you go ahead and do that if you need it, okay? And yeah, if you appreciate videos like this, please hit that like button. That really helps out my channel. Subscribe if you're not already, and let's get right into the lesson. All right, let's have a look at this PowerPoint. So as with all my PowerPoints, we start with the classroom rules and a short little warm-up. I have how's the weather here today. You can change this and put whatever you want. I just have this here since this lesson is for grade 2, 3, or grade 1. How's the weather is a good way to start the class. And then we go straight into the lesson. So I'm just going to skip ahead past all the beginning stuff and right into the teaching. Okay, so let's learn. Teaching part 1. All right, so in this lesson we are teaching the festivals, and I like to show them the word in their first language first, especially for the older grades, because they might already know this. You know, for grade 2 or grade 3, they might already know this. So I want to see what they know, and I'll have them raise their hands and tell me, okay? And as you can see, there is a notebook here, which means I want them to write it down in their notebook, okay? Say the word a few times and then move on to the next word. Actually, before I teach them the words, I do want to ask them, okay? So I'm going to say, do you know any festivals? And just see what they know. Okay, it's a good way to, just get them interested, get them thinking. Okay, and then we will teach the words. Okay, so show them in their first language. Got a nice little picture here of Santa Claus, and then someone will probably, in grade 2 or 3, know this one, but in a class of 40 or 50, a bunch of kids won't know it. So it's still something that they should write down in their notebook for future reference. Okay, and you can ask them, who is this? A lot of students don't know. They say Christmas old man or something like this, okay? And then go through each one and do the same thing. Show it in their first language. Again, I'll just mention this. I mentioned this in a lot of my videos, but just so people know, these lessons, if you download them, are fully editable. So you can change the Chinese in this PowerPoint to any language you want. I live in China, and a lot of the people who buy these lessons live in China, so I have the Chinese there for them. But if you live in Spain or Japan or Germany or anywhere else in the world and you want to change this to their first language, you can just, if you download this PowerPoint, you can just click this box and change this Chinese into any language you like, okay? And so the other festivals here are Easter, Chinese New Year, Halloween, Hanukkah, okay? And then let's say them again. So now they have them all in their notebook, okay? They can look at their notebook while we say them again, okay? So you can either call on students to say them again with you. So you can say, what is this one? You can point out at Easter and say, what is this? What is this festival? Someone will raise their hand, look in their notebook and say it. Then we can all say it together. Easter, okay? Christmas, Halloween, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, Chinese New Year. Good job. Okay, and now we want to play a game to drill these words. Okay, if you were teaching this to grade 1, this is a lot of new words for them, so definitely spend some time drilling. It's important to drill and make sure they can say the words correctly, correct their pronunciation and stuff like that. Okay, so for the quick say game, Very simple. I love the quick say game. In the first step of the quick say game, you, the teacher, will say the new word. So in this case, the festivals, and the students will just say a number. Okay, they'll say one of the numbers. You could change this to letters. You could change this to other words from other lessons. You know, if you just taught them transportation words, you can change 1 through 6 to like car, bus, bicycle, subway, airplane, whatever. And then you can tell them, you know, when I say Christmas, you say, instead of two, they could say whatever word you put in this box: car, truck, whatever. Okay, so you're reviewing two things now. You're reviewing the new words, they remember them, you're drilling the new words, and also you're reviewing their ability to read these other vocabulary words that they've already learned. You could even change these numbers into other flashcards, right? You could put little flashcards underneath here. You could change them into just the colors if you want. Okay, so you can change these things into anything you want. You could even change them into short little phrases if you wanted to. You could get very creative with this. Okay, but the basic way this game works is you, the teacher, will say the new word, so in this case the festivals, and they will say back to you, in this case the numbers, but again, it could be anything: letters, other vocabulary, other flashcards. You know, as long as the flashcards are big enough that they can see them, they're clear enough that they can see them, it'll work. Okay, so I say Chinese New Year, they say 6. Okay, the whole class can play. Okay, you could do it head to head if you want, but I like to drill with the whole class instead of just calling on 2 students to play. I like to play with the whole class because it gets everyone involved and everyone is drilling at the same time. Okay, so I say Thanksgiving and they say 5. Okay, the first student to say 5 will get points for their team. Okay, if you've split your class into teams, as I always do, and I always mention my class is split into teams, it helps me control their behavior, it helps for drilling, it helps in every way to have them split into different teams, either girls versus boys or by row, or if they're sitting at tables, you can do teams by table. Okay, so I say Hanukkah, they say 4. I say Halloween, they say 3, and the whole time I'm giving points to whichever student was first. Okay, so now they're getting very excited about this. Okay, and then you flip it. Okay, then you say the thing they already know. Okay, in this case, the numbers, and then they say the new word. Oh, and I also forgot to mention this. Even at the first part of the drilling, when I say Halloween and they say 3, I will make them say Halloween again. Okay, Halloween, Halloween. Just drill it. You know, especially if you can hear that some of them are still struggling with some of these. You want to drill it as many times as you can. But the second part of this game, they're really going to get to drill it. Okay, because now you're just going to say 6, and they're going to say Chinese New Year, and you're going to say it back, Chinese New Year. Point at it. If you write it on the board, you know, that'll also help. Also, if you buy these PowerPoints, I will give you flashcards for free. So if you buy it on Teachers Pay Teachers, you won't get the flashcards because it's difficult to upload more than one thing on there. But that's why I recommend people just use my website, my store, or Taobao, or like the direct links. If you buy it through the direct links in the video description where it goes straight to an end of sale, I will email you, okay, the flashcards afterward. But if you buy it on Taobao, obviously you'll get them, and in my store you'll get them as well. Okay, and so this is the way the drilling works. And like I said, in the second part, I will just say the number, they will say the festival. Okay, so anytime you're teaching something new and you're doing the quick say game, always start with you saying the new word, them saying the thing that's already there that they know, in this case the numbers, and then you flip it and you say just the thing they already know, which is the easy one, like the numbers in this case, and they say the new word, in this case the festivals. That's the way I recommend it. That's the way I found is most effective. All right, let's go on to the next game. Okay, so this next game is the flying words game. I love the flying words game. The kids love the flying words game. So before you play it, you can drill the words one more time by pointing at them on the screen. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, just go through all of them, okay? And then what you do is you click, okay? I have a clicker that I use. It's like in my hand at all times so I can control the PowerPoint. Maybe you have a mouse, maybe you need to touch the screen, whatever. I recommend buying a clicker because it's really convenient and it'll really make your life a lot easier. You don't have to run back and forth to the computer all the time, okay? So a flashcard will fly across the screen. The first student to say what it is correctly will get points for their team. So it's very simple, and then everyone can say it together, okay? So they say Halloween, and then we drill it together, okay? So that flies across, okay? Student says Chinese New Year, good job. That team gets a point. Then everyone says Chinese New Year, good job, okay? Very simple, but very fun, and the kids love this game. Okay, so just go through each one. Just a fun way to drill all the new words and a way to keep them excited and focused, okay? If you're just holding up flashcards and repeating the words, holding up flashcards, repeating the words, it can be really, really dry. Okay, but if you're doing it in a way that they find exciting, then they'll be willing to play, they'll want to play, and your class will go a lot more smoothly, okay? And then we have a quick writing game. Now, I wanted to make this in a way that was going to be easy enough that it'll be fast, okay? So the way it works is bring up one student from each team, so maybe you have 2 teams or 4 teams, whatever, give them a spot on the board to write. Okay, give them a piece of chalk or a black marker, whatever they use if you have whiteboards, and then you show them 3 different options, okay? And then you show them one of the words, okay? So it's a reading game where they need to recognize what that says, okay? In this case, Chinese New Year, and they need to look at the pictures and think, which one is Chinese New Year? Is it 1, 2, or 3, okay? Of course, it's 3, so the first student to write 3 on the board will get points. And then you showed them the answer. Good job. Everyone say Chinese New Year. Okay. The purpose of this game is to recognize the words. Okay. And that's the purpose. Okay. The way that you're doing it is getting them to write because it's exciting for them to just write the number. You could have them just, like another way to play this, is to show them these pictures and have 1, 2, 3, and then have a 3 pop up on the top of the screen, right? You could go in and edit this PowerPoint and change this to a 3. And then the students need to write Chinese New Year, okay? Now, that would take longer. There's going to be spelling errors. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. It'll be fun and interesting. Like, they'll enjoy it, but, it's... If you have the kids bring their notebook up, they'll all be able to do it, but otherwise, there'll be a lot of struggling students probably to spell correctly, and it'll be a lot of shouting, where in this case, I really just want them to see this word as many times as they can, be able to read it and recognize it. Okay, we want them to remember the words right now, not necessarily remember how to spell them. Now, next week or the week after, you can change this game, right? If you have this PowerPoint, you can change this slide to do it the way I just said. Show them a number, they need to write the word. It's a great review. Now, after that, they've had that word in their notebook and they've seen it a bunch of times. Okay, that's a good way to play it. They can write it, and a lot of them will be able to do it. It's a good review, okay? But in this lesson, we're just trying to have them recognize this new word, recognize this picture is the Chinese New Year, okay? And be able to quickly recognize it. And if they just need to write the number, it'll be fun and easy. Okay, of course, again, like I just said in the other part, you could change these numbers into vocabulary that they already know. Okay, it could be a little picture of a car, a little picture of a train, a little picture of a bus. Okay, and then they need to write bus here. Okay, or something like that. It's just something where all they need to do is recognize the picture. Okay, this picture's Chinese New Year. This word's Chinese New Year. Okay, something to signal to you that they know for sure that it's this third picture is this word. Okay, so if they have to write the number, that's one way. It could be they have to write another word that's here, that's another way. Or if there's a picture here, like a car, that they need to be able to remember how to spell car. Okay, you're just trying to get them to recognize, to be able to recognize the word. Okay, not necessarily remember how to spell it at this stage of this. Okay, so then those students sit down. Whoever was first gets points. Those students sit down, bring up more students, and rinse and repeat. Okay, a word just popped up. What word is that? They're going to look at it. What word is that? Oh, that's Easter. Which picture's Easter? Oh, number 1. They write number 1 on the board. They get points for their team. Okay, so recognize this word is Easter. This picture is Easter. That's the point of this game. Okay, not necessarily spelling it. Okay, if you have any questions about that and why I do that, I can explain in more detail in another video. Sometimes I go through these quickly and maybe people don't understand my exact reasoning. If that's the case, leave a question below and I will try to clarify. Okay, and yeah, there's a few rounds here. Rinse and repeat. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's go on to the next part of the lesson, teaching part 2. Okay, so in this part of the lesson, we're going to start teaching a sentence, okay, and a question and a sentence, okay. So here, I'll show them this, see if they know how to say it, okay? Again, you can change that to any language that you need to. In this case, it's the word best, okay? Then I show them the translation in their first language. I want to see if students can already do this, okay? It's a great way to gauge their English level, see if they can already do it, okay? So they see it in their first language. Students will raise their hand and give you their guess about how to say it. Some students will be close, very close, maybe a little bit off. That's fine. And then eventually you'll show them the correct answer, okay? This is a great way to teach, okay? You want to see what they know. It's almost like a pop quiz here. It's like a quiz, right? All of a sudden, this thing pops up that they can read in their first language, and they're thinking, how do I translate this to English? I think I learned it, but I don't remember. And even if they're wrong, it's a great way to really put it into their memory, okay? This moment where like they were thinking, and they thought they knew it, and they were pretty close, but they were a little bit off. And then when you show them the correct way to say it, they'll be like, oh, okay. And then if they were right, if they did look at that in their first language and they're like, I know it, okay, either they raise their hand, they say it correctly, and you're like, good job, very, very good, and they'll feel very proud. Or even if you call on someone else, or even if they don't raise their hand, but they're thinking that answer that eventually is right, they're thinking, I think I know that. And they're thinking, you can even tell them, write down in your notebook what you think it is, okay? Write down in your notebook what you think it is. You can walk around the room and check, and then you show them, okay, word by word. Which festival do you like best? Okay, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay. And you can drill the question a few times with them. You notice that, well, unless you speak Chinese, you probably don't know, but the colors here for everything go with each word, okay? And you can see things like do, that doesn't exist in Chinese, okay? So some of the words, we're not going to have a direct translation, okay? But I like to color, like put words in different colors in my PowerPoints, because not only does it make them pop and it looks nicer, but also they can start to associate, okay, the words better, okay? And then we're going to go into the next game. Okay, so this next part of the lesson is a guessing game, but we're actually also teaching them, and we're going to be drilling during this game, okay? So let's guess the favorite festivals of 4 of our classmates. Okay, so there's 4 classmates here. Okay, now we have this classmate, and we don't know which one she likes best. Okay, so this game is made to get them to drill the question, get them to drill the answer, and also get them excited, right? Because it's kind of gambling. They're not sure which one is going to be behind this question mark, okay? So what you do is you call on one student from each team, okay? Or you call on 2 students from each team, whatever you like. And then the whole class will ask them the question. So which festival do you like best, okay? And each student who's playing will get a guess, okay? So you can, for the first round, they might be a little bit unsure, okay? But after they see it the first time, they'll know. You can explain to them, like, one of these festivals is behind this question mark. One of them is here. Which one? Which one is here? Is it Hanukkah? Is it Thanksgiving? Or is it the Chinese New Year? Okay? And then you have the whole class ask the question, or another option would be to have the team of the student who's about to guess ask the question. Okay, I like to do that because it adds another element, because what happens is you can say, okay, team number 1, ask your classmate, and they all say, which festival do you like best? Okay, and based on how well they ask, I'll give them a certain amount of points. So if I think they all asked really well, I'll give them 5 points. Okay, if I think some of them didn't ask, or they're just not into it, I'll give them 3 or 4 points, or even less if they're really not doing well. Okay, and then that student will say, I like, okay, and they need to say the sentence, okay? I like Thanksgiving best. All right, that team said Thanksgiving, so next to their team, write Thanksgiving. Okay, next team, ask your classmate, which festival do you like best? Okay, based on how well they ask, give them points from 1 to 5, okay, which will really motivate them, because they really want to get those extra points. And then they guess, I like Chinese New Year best, okay? And they can also guess the same thing as the first team. That's totally fine. Doesn't matter, okay? If you feel like you're not going to have enough time, you can just have the whole class ask, okay? Don't give any points for asking the question, and then each student, one by one, will say, I like Thanksgiving best, okay, team 1 Thanksgiving. I like Hanukkah best, all right, team 2 Hanukkah. I like Chinese New Year best, okay, team 3 Chinese New Year. I like Thanksgiving best, okay, Thanksgiving for team 4, okay? And then you reveal the answer. Well, Chinese New Year is the winner. So whichever team said Chinese New Year, or whichever student said Chinese New Year, that student's team would get 3 points, 2 points, 5 points, whatever you want, okay? And then those students sit down, and then you do it again, okay? So now they all understand. For sure they understand, okay? It's either Easter, Christmas, or Halloween behind this question mark, okay? Everyone ask your classmate, which festival do you like best? One by one, they give their answer in the full sentence. Okay, I like Christmas best. I like Halloween best. I like Easter best. I like Christmas best. Whatever they want, okay? And then reveal the answer, okay? I like to do this stuff as guessing games because the kids, they get way more excited when it's like this, when it's kind of like gambling and they feel like, they can win if they're right. It's much more interesting. And as a teacher too, like I don't remember which one I put behind each one. Okay, maybe by like the third or fourth class, if I'm teaching like 5 or 6 classes in a row, by the third one I can remember, but maybe not. I don't remember. So I also don't know. So I'm also like, I wonder which kid's gonna win here. Okay, which students got it right. Okay, and then reveal the answer. Okay, kids really like it. They drill the question. They drill the answer. They say everything a bunch of times. Okay, you can correct their pronunciation. Okay, so that's why I love these kind of guessing games. And honestly, like when I make these PowerPoints and they work well in class, I feel really good. If you take this PowerPoint into your class is going to go smoothly. Okay, it might not go smoothly in the first time you try it. Like the first time you go in class with this, it won't maybe go perfectly because you're still, trying to remember exactly how the PowerPoint is going to go, exactly the timing and everything like that. By the second class, third class, fourth class, if you're teaching it multiple times, it's going to go super smoothly, okay? And if anyone is watching you teach this lesson, it's going to be like you're in full control of their behavior. They're drilling everything. They're saying all the English. It's going to look really professional, okay? All right. And let's go on to the next part of the lesson. Okay, it's a click away game. I love the click away game. It's very easy and very fun, and again, the kids are very interested in it. So call on one student from one of the teams, have them stand up, their whole team, okay, or the whole class will ask them, which festival do you like best? Okay, and they'll say, I like Easter best. Okay, click on Easter. Good, 6 points, yeah, okay. Next team, okay, another student from that, the next team's representative stands up. That team will ask them, or the whole class will ask them, which festival do you like best? And they'll say, I like Thanksgiving best. And you can then have the whole class say, I like Thanksgiving best. Okay, click on it, 2 points. Oh no, not as good. Okay, and go through each of them. Okay, and reveal the points. Okay, if you only have 4 teams, just go through 4 of them. Okay, if you have 2 teams, each team can have 3 goes. Okay, if you have 6 teams, each team has 1 try. Okay, because there's 6 words. Okay, and then we go on to the next game. Okay, so this next game is a classic 4 corners game. I love this game. The kids love this game. Okay, I'll just show you the way it works. So let's go into round 1. This game is part of one of my games PowerPoints. Can't remember if it's 4 great games for ESL classrooms or 5 more great games for ESL classrooms. Can't remember which one, but I have a whole video, 2 videos about games, and it's in one of them. This game is very, very fun. So the way it works is call on 4 students. Okay, if you have 4 teams, perfect, 1 student from each team. If you have 2 teams, bring up 2 students from each team. Bring them to the front of the class, and then say, ready, go. Okay, and then those students need to pick a corner of the room, okay, and go and stand there. Okay, tell them don't run. You don't need to run. Just go to the corner. Excuse me. You don't need to run. Just go to the corner. Okay, so this red one is the front left corner of the class. This green one, the green corner, is the front right. Okay, the yellow is the back left. Okay, and the blue is the back right. Okay, that's how it should be very visual. They'll be able to see it. Okay, and they go into that corner. Okay. okay? You could make, I mean, I don't like to make it that the first student in that corner gets the corner and then no one else can be in that corner, because that'll cause them to want to run, okay? What I tell them is they can all go to one corner if they want, okay? In the first round, they probably still are going to want to run. You tell them not to run. You don't want them running around the class. It could be dangerous. They could fall, okay? Tell them, once they understand that they can all go to one corner, they'll stop running, okay? It's not a race, okay? So all the students can go stand in the red corner if they want, okay? All the students can go in the green corner if they want. Doesn't matter, okay? So what happens is they go in that corner, one of the corners, okay? And then you show them the question. So the whole class will say, which festival do you like best? Okay. And then each student, one by one, will say their answer. Okay. I like, so if there's let's say there's one student in the red corner, they will say, I like Chinese New Year best. Good job. Okay. You can actually give them like 1 or 2 points for saying it correctly, saying the sentence very well, and give them a point. Okay. Then the student in the green corner. Okay, you can actually have the class ask again if you want, or if you don't want to have them ask again because of time, you can just say your answer. So I like Christmas best. Good job, very good. Give them points if you want, just for saying the answer correctly. Then the blue corner, I like Halloween best. Okay, and give them points if you want, whatever, and go through all of them. Okay. After that, you reveal the winner. So you push, you click, and 3 of them will disappear. Okay. Whoever is standing in the red corner, in this case, will get 5 points or 10 points or whatever you want. Okay, good job. They go and sit down. Okay, and then round 2. Believe me, students love this game. When they see in my class that they're about to play the 4 corners game, they get very, very, very excited. Okay, they absolutely love this game. Okay, rinse and repeat. Call on, choose 4 more students, bring them to the front, say ready, go. Okay. Go. They go to the corners of their choice. Okay. Everyone asks the question, which festival do you like best? And then each one gives their answer. Okay. And one thing I want to add is you can see that I don't have the answer structure. I like Thanksgiving best. Or I like blank best. I don't have that on the board or anywhere. So they need to remember that. Okay. And then reveal the answer. Okay. Okay. In this case, Halloween wins. Okay, good job. Halloween gets however many points you want to give, 5 points, 10 points, 3 points, whatever. And then rinse and repeats. Okay, rinse and repeats. Ready? And I believe there are 4 rounds here. Let me just check. I think there's 4 rounds. Okay, this round Halloween wins. Round 4, same thing. Ready, go. Go! Let's see. And this one Thanksgiving wins. Okay. And yeah, that is the whole lesson. At the very end, I have a review. Okay, if you have extra time, you can do the review at the end of class. Also, this works really well because you can take this slide, okay, and drop it into future PowerPoints for the review portion of your lesson. You could also take the full 4 corners game and put it in the review of the next lesson if you want. The kids will get very excited if they get to play that game again at the beginning of class. Yeah. If you have extra time at the end of class, let's say there's 3 more minutes, okay, at least you have this slide here that you can walk around the room and ask each student, which festival do you like best? All right, good job. Which festival do you like best? Good job. And if you have, let's say your class is longer, let's say your class is an hour, you could do a drawing activity or something at the end if you want. Yeah, there's tons of ways you could end the class. I'm just going to end it here, okay? I don't want to, for a 40 or 45 minute class, this is plenty. Okay, this is plenty. Okay, so that is the whole lesson. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. All right, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you do want to download this lesson and teach it yourself, don't forget you can go to the links in the video description below, or you can go to my Taobao store and you can download it there. And yeah, stay tuned for part 2, which is like the second half of this lesson. That'll be coming out tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.